Hey everyone, it's Ivan. I know it's been a really long time since I last posted my YouTube video, but I think it was a good idea for me to take a break because of recent events. Um, I've been pondering and wondering what my content will be on this channel because right now the world is such a messed up place. Ever since Minneapolis happened, you got the Black Lives protesters, you got Antifa, you got the police officers, you got innocent people being killed, innocent people being beaten up, you know. So I took a step back and I wanted to observe, okay, how am I gonna approach this situation in the world without seeming biased towards law enforcement, towards our police officers, you know. I don't want you guys to see me as this. Right now, I'm at work. I don't work until 30 minutes, so I'm a little bit early. But I'm gonna make YouTube videos not in uniform so you can see that not all of us are the same. I'm not a cop, by the way. I'm just a security officer at DuPage County. Hopefully, trying to get into law enforcement someday. You know, but again, it depends on how the world is at that point. Um, Today is August 21st, 2020. And I would say we we have been at a civil unrest for about 2 months now, almost 3 months. First there was like COVID and now George Floyd. I just want to let anyone else know who's watching this video. All the good cops out there do not like what happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis, whether George Floyd had a criminal background or he didn't. Derek Chauvin, the arresting police officer, and the three others should have provided aid the moment George Floyd was asking for help and said he couldn't breathe. But that's just my opinion. Because when you are a police officer, you are a first responder, and your duty and your job is to assist others, even if that individual is a bad person. You are not the judge. You don't get to decide who lives and who dies. If they need help, you help them. For example, George Floyd was in handcuffs, all right? And there were three other officers, Derek Chauvin and the other two, okay? I think four. But anyways, even if George Floyd was trying to trick those officers, what power did he have, to fight them off? He was handcuffed. I believe the coroner also said that George Floyd had a lot of drugs in his system, fentanyl, I believe it was, which is what caused his death because he overdosed, apparently. And then yesterday, I read this article. I'll post it in another video I'll do. I saw that the DA or this lawyer for Derek Chauvin's charges might be dropped against him because the coroner ruled that George Floyd's death was based on drugs, not because of Derek Chauvin. You know. Also, at the same time, I think these rioters and looters are not doing it for Black Lives Matter or for George Floyd for that matter. These are just opportunists taking advantage of a sad situation. You know, just like how we say not all cops are bad, we also have to say not all of the protesters are bad. But you see, the problem comes when we become so biased to our side that we just stick to our side. For example, just because I support law enforcement and I want to go into law enforcement, people think that, oh, you think all protesters are bad. No, I mean, there are protesters who have been peaceful for the most part. There have been protesters who actually want to change, who are being peaceful, you know. And are there good cops? Yes. Are there bad cops? Absolutely. But you can also argue that there are bad apples in every profession. You know, it's human nature. Uh, you can't get rid of every racist cop. There's no way. You cannot defeat racism because racism is an ideology, right? Racism will always exist. You cannot wipe it out, right? Maybe you can silence it for a bit, but it's still gonna be there, you know. So I don't want you guys to say, "Oh, we'll get rid of racism one day," because you won't, right? I'm just being straightforward with you guys. At the same time, what else I see that is wrong with this world is that we are picking sides and we are labeling each other when we shouldn't. For example, you got Black Lives Matter and you got Blue Lives Matter and you get fucking Antifa in the middle, right? First of all, I don't like Antifa, period, all right? Antifa, in my opinion, is a group of domestic terrorists. It's a terrorist group, in my opinion, all right? Um, but you have Black Lives Matter, right? Saying stuff like Black Lives Matter and basically ACAB, right? Kill all cops are bastards, all these other slurs towards the police officers. And then you got some people who support law enforcement saying Blue Lives Matter, you know. And my thing is, we as a species, for some reason, always like to contradict each other if we think differently, which is wrong. Because the moment we label each other and put each other in different groups, that is the point when everything just falls apart, right? Um, we have to stop saying, you know, well, first of all, I get the saying Black Lives Matter. I do, you know, I get it. But when you start to say hateful or disturbing slurs towards law enforcement or towards any other person who thinks differently than you, for example, if there was a Trump supporter, right? If there was a Trump supporter that went to a Black Lives Matter rally, I can bet you they would clash. You know why? Because we have labeled them because they think differently than us. If we can just learn to get along with people with different ideologies and different views, I feel like we wouldn't be in this mess right now, you know? And for all you guys, right, who are saying that all cops are racist, but Black Lives Matter is not racist, your reasoning sucks, all right? Because how can you say, oh, Black Lives Matter is not racist because Black Lives Matter has every ethnicity backing them up, right? Well, look at our police officers. Almost every ethnicity can be a cop, you know. Name any ethnicity, any. And I can bet you that some of the police department has one, or a few, or like they can even be mixed. So you can't say police departments are white supremacy because that makes no sense. There are black police officers, Asians, Hispanics, whatever, you know, just deal with it. At the same time, um, there was this saying, right, that America is stolen land, and I get it, you know. However, this is what I heard. I just thought it was interesting to share with you guys. Um, so I was watching a video one day, and there was this girl who was Native American, and she said, "America, you can't say America is a stolen land. However, you can say America is a conquered land because she said the Native Americans went to war with the first settlers who went here, and the Native Americans lost the war. So therefore, technically, excuse me, the America was conquered, not stolen. If that makes sense. I just thought it was interesting. I don't know. Like I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm just saying that was an interesting point of view. You know. But with law enforcement, like in Portland, with the federal agents, the media will lie to you just to stir shit up. All right, like the media is saying these unidentified federal officers are in Portland. No, they're not unidentified, and they're not some kind of secret organization of police, right? It says on their uniform, on their patch, or if you look in the shoulders, they are border patrol. Okay, and what I want you guys to know is the only reason that these federal officers and that these police officers did show up to these protests was because they wanted to ensure that it would stay peaceful. Because after Minneapolis, those protesters did not remain peaceful. They destroyed their city, right? So these police officers want to make sure nothing like that would happen in their city. However, it did turn violent when the protesters saw the police come in and tensions flared, you know? Like, we're all human, emotions flared up. These protesters start yelling at the police officers, throwing stuff at the police officers, and next thing you know, you got the police officers shooting back with rubber bullets and tear gas and shit. You know, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this division and come together. We gotta sit down at a table somehow. You know, talk shit out. We are supposed to be a united nation. You know, we're not supposed to be divided. We look ridiculous right now to the rest of the world. I think we're at a laughing stock right now. We have the most coronavirus cases, and we are so divided right now. It is insane. Honestly, it irritates me to my soul. It also irritates me because I cannot talk about this with a lot of my friends on social media because they think differently than me, right? Also, right, in my opinion, I think social media is mostly biased towards liberals and less so Republicans or conservatives. I'm more conservative myself, you know. Uh, Also, there are some stores or private properties that um, encourage phrases like Black Lives Matter and ACAB, but they don't encourage slogans or words that say defend the police or protect the police or Blue Lives Matter. So in a way, I guess you can say that's kind of racist in their own way. I don't know. That's my opinion. You know. Uh, what else? At the same time, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was kind of on a roll there. Shoot. Yeah, I forgot. But I'll be posting a lot of videos now from now on. I'm gonna go head on strong. My college classes will be starting up too, mostly criminal justice and homeland security classes. So I'll be talking about that with you guys over here or whoever watches any of my videos. You know, not really doing it for the views. I just want to get my thoughts out there, and whoever finds my videos, I hope that we can have a civilized conversation, whether you agree or whether you disagree with me. You know, I just want people to come together rather than be divided. You know, I think we can work it out if we just sit down and talk and stop acting like children. Especially November. Oh my God. Election. Just Jesus, man. I know whoever wins, people will be upset. Um, Possibly a second wave of riots, possibly whoever wins. I would just say don't because what is the purpose of destroying your own town or city that you live in? That you have to raise your young children, your youth in that town and city. What are you teaching your kids when you're destroying public property? What are you teaching your kids, right? When you are teaching them to hate the police. You know what I mean? If you defund the police, do you know what it's gonna do to your um neighborhood, to your town, to your city? It's like you're announcing to the world that you're getting rid of security cameras, and all the bad guys just heard that you're degrading, yourself. So now they'll have more opportunity to commit crimes because now they'll know that these police officers are not well equipped anymore because now they're defunded, right? It's crazy, man. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy world. Where did we go? Where did we go so wrong? We're supposed to. You're supposed to be an American. Start acting like it. All right. And for those of you who say America was never great in the first place, I want you guys to educate yourself with our history, right? Has America made mistakes? Yes, hell yes. But so has every other country in the world, all right? But guess what? We are better off than than some countries in the world. Are there some countries that are better than us? Sure, yeah. But at the same time, there are some countries who are doing much, much worse than we are. All right, so just be thankful for that. But for now, I think that's it. I'll be posting videos hopefully every week, mostly about politics, law enforcement, what's going on in the world. Uh, I'll talk about video games if I got a chance. And of course, when my college classes start, I'll also talk about that with you guys too. And I'll possibly teach you guys some things that I learned from that class if anyone's interested. I mean, I'll still do it regardless. Just for me, making videos seems fun. So I'm gonna just keep doing that, even, if rarely anyone watches. But all right, see you guys. Or girl. Yeah, well, yeah. Anyone who's watching, I hope you guys have a great day. And thanks for your time.